All right, YouTube. Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast, talking Auburn football post game for the Kent State game. Auburn in their second home game of the season. Saw a lot of guys get into the action. Very excited about a 55-16 win for the Auburn Tigers. A lot of great things happening in the college football stratosphere. Ohio State winning big, Georgia winning big. Also, very impressed at spots with, South Carolina. Really like that War Damn Eagle. Really like South Carolina in spots. I think they had some opportunity in that game. Of course, you had some teams that struggled a little bit. Tennessee actually getting back on track. I thought that was a great thing for the Tennessee Volunteers. And now as we talk about the Auburn Tigers football team for this particular game, I was impressed in a lot of ways. Now, a lot of you guys might not know it, but in the first half, Auburn, even in the midst of, trial and error, I think Auburn did a good job. Rodney Garner did a very good job of rotating defensive linemen. Now, they played this whole, Derek Brown being out and all this other. There ain't nothing wrong with Derek Brown. They got a chance to solidify some things with the defensive line and, really get some great things going that will solidify some depth for the defensive line going into the SEC play, especially with next week traveling down to College Station to take on Texas A&M. Really want to welcome all of your comments. Found out that Felipe Franks is actually hurt for Florida, went down with a leg injury. Very unfortunate. Auburn actually plays them, I think, October 5th. The first time in a while that Auburn will take on Florida. Big shout out to Florida, who I think is starting to come back in that particular football game. Also, if you want to donate to the channel, they have this thing called a super chat. You can go ahead and hit the super chat and donate $1, $5, whatever you want to do. If you don't, I just love the support. I love the camaraderie of what you guys do, but just want you guys to know that is an option. Now, let's go back to the video that I did today. What did I think Auburn needed to do to be successful in this particular football game? Number one, I said that the Auburn defense needed to stop the trend of allowing teams to score on the first drive. Auburn is still continuing to allow yardage on the first drive. As a matter of fact, the defense actually took a step back on the first drive and actually, kind of hurt their stats a little bit. I think the defense took a huge step back because, statistically looking at it, they were trending towards being one of the best defenses in the country at, Derek Hall did play. But anyway, I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to get better at this. I get distracted by the comments, but here it is. The defense got off track in the first part of the football game because Auburn was trending towards being one of the best defenses in the country at getting teams off the field on third down. Teams could only convert on third down about 20%. But how about Kent State? Big shout out to Kent State being able to convert. They were perfect for the first couple of drives. So, now, one thing I can say about Kent State doesn't really recruit very well, and they can't, because if you look at where they are, they're in Ohio. They got to deal with Cincinnati. They got to deal with Ohio State. Hell, even Toledo and Akron recruits on a better level than they do. So I think, just given the whole totality of circumstance, I think Kent State came into this Auburn game with a very good game plan. Of course, when you have a defense that's as fast as Auburn, that's why you saw Auburn outflanked on the edge. You saw Auburn out of position in a lot of places. That's where those things happen. But I think a great thing that happened, Kevin Steele started to reel some things in, started to really get the guys engaged, and really started to stop those things. And one thing I was really impressed about is the pressure that the defense was able to get, even with Derek Brown out of the game. Now, you all can get nervous if you want to, but I don't believe Derek Brown is injured. I think this was an opportunity to where Auburn had a chance to get some guys in the football game, get some depth going. I saw a lot of young guys in there. I saw Derek Hall. I don't remember if I saw if I saw Charles Moore or not in the first half. Let me go ahead and get this charger going because I don't want this thing to die. My phone to die while we're doing this. Let me make sure we're set up here. My bad, y'all. But anyway, like I said before, Auburn should be very thankful. You're talking about a 55-16 win over a team that they haven't won against a Power 5 team in a long time. I can't think of the last time they've won against a ranked Power 5 team in Kent State. And also, how refreshing was it to see Woody Barrett come back to Auburn, a place that he is documented that he really loved, was kind of resentful as far as leaving goes, but he saw that he didn't necessarily have a future at Auburn. But I was really, really proud to see him on the football field, to really make some good plays. Big shout out to Woody Barrett and the former Auburn Tiger who transferred up to Kent State. Hopefully he can find a way to get the starting position back for the Kent State Golden Flashes. Now, let's just talk about real quickly as we move forward. As far as now, we're in the thick of Auburn in as far as SEC played their first road game against Texas A&M. Of course, we know this is a place that Auburn has never lost before. It's a very unique rivalry here in the SEC West. Now, let's rewind this back a little bit. Texas A&M and Missouri joined the conference back in, Derek Brown, my bad, y'all. Texas A&M joined the conference along with Missouri out of the Big 12 back in 2012. Both teams have made a very nice impression. Now, when we talk about the rivalry between the developing rivalry, nice rivalry between Auburn and Texas A&M, usually the road team actually win, which is kind of odd in the SEC West. Now, Auburn actually ended that trend in a very unlikely fashion last year, as Auburn was able to come back and kind of salvage the season with the win over Texas A&M. Now, having to go down to College Station. College Station will be without, one of their starting running backs. I think his last name is Corbin, which is kind of a bad thing because Texas A&M was already having some experience issues at the running back position anyway. So Auburn goes down to Texas A&M this weekend. I expect Gus Malzahn to pull out all the stops. I just saw a comment about J.J. Wilson. I was thoroughly impressed with J.J. Wilson. He's got some good hands, man. He's pretty big too. I was really impressed with him. I was really impressed with Harold Joyner. I really liked how Sean Shiver started to get his mojo, kind of get his stride back. Very, very impressed with how those guys played. I think the Auburn Tigers are really in a decent position, 55-16. Let's see. Come on, guys. It's Kent State. We might get exposed. Hey, man, let me tell you something, Robert Tyndale. Thank you for your comment. You just don't beat teams 55-16. You play your reserves for the most part. You play two quarterbacks. You play multiple running backs. There's absolutely no rhythm to still beat a team 55-16. I think that is very admirable. We are not going to take anything away from the Auburn Tigers. We're not making excuses here, but we're not going to take anything away from the Auburn Tigers tonight. A 55-16 win, an experimental win nonetheless. I think these guys, this wasn't a solid game plan. Hell, they, like Tony Williams said, they even played Cord Sandberg. So we're not going to start this whole thing about, trying to discount what Auburn accomplished tonight. Played three quarterbacks, played multiple running backs, played so many reserves at the defensive end. I mean, at the defensive line. I mean, we cannot take anything away from the Auburn Tigers tonight. Go ahead and like this video, comment, and of course subscribe to the channel. I think sometimes, let's just say, I've been kind of looking at this Auburn fan base. I've been an Auburn fan for quite some time. Actually, a 2002 Auburn graduate. Matter of fact, big shout out to the Auburn alumni tonight, especially the ones in the liberal arts department that had to fight with the Haley Center. You can't tell me you didn't get lost in the quadrants of the Haley Center. But anyway, we just got to, as Auburn fans, sometimes we just have to take it for what it's worth. I think at times we want to be, just I don't know. I don't know who we're comparing ourselves with. I don't know. I don't know. It's like we are wanting to be on this plateau or on this plane that is not realistic. I remember when I was in school. Now, I'm not saying that I promote any mediocrity, for Auburn, but I mean, hell, when I was in school, we were ranked 15 in the country. I mean, we celebrated that. You know what I'm saying? Just being relevant on some kind of level, we celebrated that. And I think, 2010, when we won that national championship, I think that fostered some a portion of, or a subculture of the Auburn fan base that didn't understand the true essence of what being an Auburn fan was. Because I think we gained a whole lot of fair weather fans from that 2010 national championship, and it got even more heightened in 2013 with having national championship appearances in less than 3 years. So the Auburn fan base subculture and the stratosphere of being an Auburn fan started to change. And, I'm telling you, man, look, I'm celebrating this 55-16 win, especially as dysfunctional at the win, at the way the win was. So, hey, if you can't celebrate a 55-16 win, I mean, I'm not questioning your fanhood, but I mean, what do you want? What do you want them to do? Did you want them to win by 100, 200? Young new Auburn fans got spoiled. Last 15 years have been some of the highest in history. Now, here's the thing that I want to talk about too, real quickly. Now, let me ask you guys how you all feel about this. Now, I think that when you look at Auburn, and yeah, they couldn't even celebrate that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get off subject for a second. Somebody criticized me before for getting off subject, but I think that's a great point. We couldn't even celebrate the Oregon win because we were so busy trying to dissect how Bo Nix's pass actually should have been an interception. Now, oh man. All right, so let me go to my next subject before I start getting mad. But anyway, all right, so when we talk about the Auburn Tigers going forward, Auburn has a I thought of this in the offseason. I thought the media outlets got it wrong as far as how Florida would be this year, how Mississippi State will be this year, and how Texas A&M will be this year. If you go back to some of my videos, you will see that I thought that Auburn had a manageable stretch, and sure enough, they do. It is not out of the realm of possibility for Auburn to possibly be undefeated going into the LSU game. It's not out of the realm of possibility. So, let's see. I couldn't agree more. Yeah, those three teams are overrated. I knew it. How the hell do you lose your Kentucky choke? Y'all surprised about that? Let me quit getting distracted. I'm sorry, guys. But anyway, how do you lose a whole offensive line? We're talking about Florida. We're talking about Texas A&M losing a lot of guys. And then you still want to rank these guys in, the top 16. I mean, I get the whole SEC superiority complex, but at a certain point, we got to be realistic. Like it or love it, but the SEC is getting kicked around the damn field right now. Kentucky missed a field goal within I mean, hey, you know, it is what it is. You miss a field goal. I mean, wow. Damn. Let's see. Just want to say I've been watching since the summer. Oh, I appreciate that. Man, you preaching, brother. Amen. Amen. Amen to the choir. Let the church say amen. I hope so, Robert. Where is DJ Williams? Yes, the SEC is looking rough, guys. I mean, you know, we talk. That's what I'm saying. Kentucky, you know what I'm saying? We knew. The thing is, the fact that Florida struggled with Kentucky is an issue in and of itself. But we're going to see Florida the first time. This is the first time tuning in. Felt like DJ Keith. Yes, sir. First time tuning in. Hello. What's going on? What is good? Florida going to get Kentucky going to get the W. I hope so. Got a lot of Florida fans that I know. Love your channel, bro. You should give out what's going on. Enjoy listening to you. Yes. Now, all right. So, throw something out in the comment section. I haven't gotten what I'm working on now, y'all, is I'm trying to get to where I can get some call-in stuff going on. So I'm working on the software as far as that goes. But if you can throw in a question or something, so I can get that going. That will be great tonight because I got about 14 more. Okay, here it is. What do you think about Joey Gatewood? Well, I'll tell you what. He runs just as well as I thought he would. I would have liked to have seen more from Joey Gatewood as far as throwing the football. Now, here's what I liked about Gatewood, though. I liked the way lanes started to open once he came onto the football field. It's kind of similar to, Joey Gatewood, not Joey Gatewood, but it's kind of similar to John Franklin. Back in 2016, when he came in, it's like automatically when John Franklin came in, everybody had to respect what John Franklin was doing. So I think Joey Gatewood adds an element of respect to where when he comes into the football game, you know that he is a threat to run the football, and sure enough, he is. I was thoroughly impressed. As a matter of fact, Joey Gatewood is actually a little bit better than I thought. I was real impressed with him, and I think if the Gus Malzahn staff does not, start to utilize him as a force in this particular football team, I think Auburn could be missing out. But at the same time, I also like Bo Nix as well. Bo Nix improved dramatically, and I'm gonna tell you like this. And looking at the stats, Auburn, Gus Malzahn is known for this. He rolled up about 600 and something yards. Okay, so before I talk about this part of the content, let me tell y'all what I thought about as far as, Gus Malzahn calling plays. When Gus Malzahn calls plays, this is what happens. He rolls up the yards, he rolls up the points, he rolls up the time of possession, and he rolls up the first downs. Now, what did he do tonight? 600 plus yards, including 400 yards running the ball. That's vintage Gus Malzahn. 32 plus first downs, no turnovers, 32 minutes of time of possession. That's how Gus Malzahn wins football games. That's how you roll up 55 points and probably left a few more touchdowns on the table. 100 yards rushing. That's what Gus Malzahn does as a play caller. So, now I'm going to leave you guys with this because we're at the 20-minute mark. I know you guys got to go to sleep. Some of you jokers even have to go to work tomorrow. But going to the Texas A&M game, this is something that I wanted to see tonight. I wanted to see Bo Nix gain some more confidence. I wanted to see Sean Shivers be a little bit more active in the running game, which he was tonight, which I'm very proud of. And I love the push that we got from the offensive line. I actually really love the push that we got from the defensive line, considering that Derrick Brown was chilling on the sideline. So going into this week, Here's what we want to see. We want to see even more balance. We want to see Gus Malzahn get more and more comfortable opening the playbook up for Bo Nix / Joey Gatewood, because y'all can't say that Joey Gatewood is not going to be a part of this offense next week. It's just going to happen. So Prince Winagu, I don't know what his deal is. He got replaced on the offensive line. I thought that was pretty interesting. I'll follow that story. May do a video on that this week. I think Joey Gatewood did a very good job this game, showing his skill set, really showing his confidence, and I think he definitely is going to make a push towards making making some impact on this particular offense. And again, I'm glad I had the opportunity to address you guys after the game with the post-game reaction. What's going on, Auburn Orange and Blues? Appreciate you tuning in. Everything is fine. I just wanted to address you guys real quickly with my reaction to Auburn versus Kent State. I think we got everything that we needed from this particular game. Oh yeah, Malik Miller. Let's not leave this show without mentioning him. I think Malik Miller had a very, very good showing. Looked like he lost a little weight too. Seemed to be a little more agile than he used to be. So I tell you what, guys, Auburn takes on Texas A&M. If you don't know, this game will be played at 2:30 Central Time, 3:30 Eastern Time, down in College Station, Texas, which rests about 90 miles north of Houston. A lot of Auburn fans will be taking the trip down there. So let's get fired up, man. We got some videos coming this week talking about this Auburn-Texas A&M rivalry. Go ahead and like this video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I love you guys and gals for tuning in with me tonight. As always, it is great to be an Auburn Tiger. War damn Eagle.